Thank you, Ratna, and the panel members. Good morning. So we have come across and we are meeting on a very important topic today. And of course, Mr. Vinay has covered and given the right tone and the direction. And particularly in this time of the, time which we are passing, the new pandemic situation. See, we are already at a loss, thinking how to proceed, because whatever we are thinking right today, we are being proved that is wrong. Now, coming back to the question, the interdisciplinary approach certainly is one of the key things which will drive us through at the moment. Because only if we go on to our old days of thinking, not learning new things, we will get stuck. The education institutions, particularly referring to if we are looking at HR and IR and personnel field, we'll have to check on the practices. And I think over here, we need to be very careful. Now, things have become, the trend has become so niche. Like if you are from manufacturing, there will be a set of things required for the institution to, teach, carry on. But if you are from a service industry or particularly on IT or, banking, there will be little bit of different kind of traits and education or learning to be imparted. So things are getting quite complicated at this moment, and though there will be no dearth of job, but there will be extreme specialization required, to my mind, at this juncture. In our days, 30 years back, things were very straight. You need to know the laws, you need to know certain theories which were there as a human practice, or even in performance management or even in HR. There were certain set theories which we learned and we would practice. But what we find at the moment now, things are changing fast and things are not running the way it is. Now, the new thing which has just come in, work from home, building team. We used to build team earlier. We used to interact directly at the shop floor and face-to-face interaction. Now what is happening? We are all working through remote, getting one-to-one touch through computers, of course, is there, but that direct interaction is not there. So our emotional connect is, to my opinion, is getting a little bit hampered, and we need to think how to build team remotely. That and to get the right kind of response. Like Vinay has said, important thing, learning. So learning will also become very much institutional. Learning will of course be there with new agenda, and learning through e-learning will take a majority kind of role over here, where the institutions should also kind of build that facility and allow the students to join in through e-learning when there is people are not able to come and attend classes. I'm talking very basics. And apart from this, I want to share a few thoughts which I think which will be very, very required and handy at the moment, is to go back to basics, learn the basics. The first thing I would like to put, if I come across to a big plant where if there is a 5,000 people or plus, health, safety and environment would become the key agenda at the moment, and of course wellness programs. This will be given an extra attention by the top and everybody. This is for our safety and for safety and sustainability point. I think this must be driven by all, not only from top, not only from a particular department like we used to have now, or we are still having. I think this part, particularly the sustainability part, health, safety, environment, this will take a top position, and wellness being. Next comes the machine learning, kind of learning, remote learning, coupled with the knowledge, the basics which you have, has to be there. And rightly pointed out by Mr. Vinay, there should be a quick learning, and the change management will take place very fast, frequent. So one has to de-learn, unlearn, and relearn. This kind of agility will have to be there. And over here, I want to caution what I see the young minds. They need to be very resilient and not jump into conclusion. They must be very patient and weigh plus and minus and then take a call, and be very calm and quiet, and not to stick to a point very much, and also listen to what others are saying. What are the trends? I'm sure they are very intelligent, but they must not take a position. They must be very open to the idea, listen to others, and kind of come forward. And of course, resilience, which has to be there, is the key point which all departments or all the jobs would kind of require. This kind of kind of quality, I must say. It has to be there, particularly in this time where we are facing. I do not know how 22 will look, but definitely 21 and 22 would be a very challenging kind of thing, where we need to reset. Reset button or hard boot kind of thing is required from us. And of course, the industry and the young minds must kind of be very open to learn all those new ideas which is coming. And and another most important thing which I find, the work-life balance over here. In earlier days, we used to forget the family, work life, and put in hours and hours and of work, and the family would get neglected, particularly in manufacturing or even in other industry. Now I think there must be a kind of good balance of this, where we put in work and timely work, and also switch over the balanced quality time with the family for overall growth and happiness of the society. There will be a few things which will get lost. I think the concept of overtime. I think now this has been a very oldish kind of thing, which we have seen people staying back, doing overtime. I think this flexibility of job, multi-skilling, I think this should do away. Even our acts should change. I think direction is already been there in the industrial relation part. So that must change, I must say, and this will change what I believe. This concept, to my opinion, will be fading away.
Thank you so much, Koustav.
Yeah.
Basically, what are the smart attributes that you see in humans today who will handle what is called a smart factory, which is going to be made up of machines, which is going to be dependent on cloud computing, on IoT. So what are these smart human beings going to look like? What are the attributes they have? And what do you think will be found in them? Koustav,
you need to unmute. You are still on mute.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So we have seen engineering drawing boards to start with, a point where you have a design, and then you plan it, and then you go ahead with the production. So coming straight away over there, currently things have we are doing it, or the current level of understanding is, at our country, we are doing it through CAD CAM and all that computer devices. So next level will be the robotics, and where a lot of data mining will have to be there. Referring to my industry or kind of things which we are doing, what I see, where you need to get a government approval, particularly if you are catering to railways, like we do make manufacture wagons. So there is an external third party, kind of approval or certification. So now this data mining and output through robot and the kind of competencies required by these young engineers will have to change, and that has to gear up to the modern day requirement. A lot of machine learning will come in, a lot of flexibility and huge data churning, and then kind of design changes which has to be done within time and approval before we actually shift that to kind of in the machine. Recently, what we saw during this pandemic, the oxygen level is zero. We don't have. Now, what we did, we quickly changed into plasma machines. So we got all these oxygen cylinders, which was not there, and we are not producing, or whatever this oxygen has been diverted to medical use. So quickly we change over to the technology, and by using plasma machines, we could run it, and whatsoever resources we have, we could quickly change. Now this change, process was so fast, like within 7 days it had to be done. So this kind of agility, which all my panel members have talked, which has to come place and take place. So these young minds, or ever whatever, they should be open to these ideas and come forward and have alternate ways to tick the box and and go on ticking. So quickly this transformation has to be there. These are the two things which I can say. And the third thing I must say, we must mind happiness. This is, while I am from coal, I have been born and brought up in coal area, and we, like he said, that we are the largest producer of coal, definitely. But we as a manager now, as an individual, we also should mind happiness in these young minds or whosoever. So in our own way, we should try and, cheer up and mind happiness, come out of this gloomy situation and look forward. And, this kind of a competencies which all we must build in, minding happiness and distribute. I think that is the time, along with the product, we must mind happiness and distribute to the world. I think that will take us, through in this tough time, and of course ahead also. So quickly, I must, look forward to the next session. And this is my understanding and my belief, not only understanding. See, I have taken up a new role recently. I have been put from the company. I have been nominated as a chief warrant of the COVID situation, which is a new role which has come up to me. Now I interact with the doctor on a daily basis, which Imdad was saying, finding out what is happening, comforting, that level. That role has already come to me de facto, and I have been nominated by the board. So we have a daily virtual meeting. I have created a new positions called, COVID warrants across all my factories. And we have a daily meeting and, reporting that has come in, which was never there. We never thought of. So see, this kind of a quick changes must come in, and we must explore and be open and, move forward. I think that's the take, and that's I wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Koustav. Love that, mining happiness. In the early days, money used to be the largest gratification, especially for the youngsters. More clothes to buy, more movies to go to. But we always thought that they would be happy if they got money. But how this has changed in today's world. And we are now looking at empathy, we are looking at wellness, we are looking at happiness quotient. So very interesting pointer that you brought up. But there still remains the factor of what's happening on the digital side. What's happening in the IoT space, what's happening in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So there's a lot of stuff that is running at a pace that we will not be able to avoid. And this is definitely going to impact the future of work. In what way are the academicians from the engineering and management institutions, how can they contribute to empower their students to face this kind of transformation 4.0 in a very effective way?
Okay, to be very precise, I think the institutions over here can, of course, focus on technological point, which is the core, technological intelligence. And after that, one must look at emotional intelligence, to my opinion, which is very important, which is coming up nowadays. Then comes the third, cultural intelligence, which these are the things, three things is the topmost in my mind, which is coming. And then comes the fourth one, cohesive collaboration should come in the fourth point. And the fifth point could be a novel and adaptive thinking. This is as a part of curriculum may come in, which may kind of bind the other four. And finally, active agility will also come in very handy, and with that, cognitive flexibility. So these are the 6 points I think the industry must touch up. See, the institution must touch upon, and prepare these young minds so that the current industry, whichever it is, if it is a sunrise or even an old one, can quickly kind of buy them and take them and on board and going. That's my kind of conclusive remarks over here, and thank you for allowing me to participate over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Koustav. Very succinctly put